Generically, how did you think it went today?
Hey, Ken, you've been with us a long time and seen a lot of these meetings, and this is my 11th, 10th as your executive director. And you never know going in, other than the area meetings, you have a good feel. I truly want to thank staff, our staff specifically, but also our legal counsel, Mr. Mark Boyer, who's in this room as well, but Ms. Amy Lowe, our constitutional attorney. She does a great job. Our presidents have always done a great job when it comes to their duties for the convention. But as I stated earlier at the agenda at a glance this morning, we are really unique in the state of Louisiana to have the abilities to have a meeting like we have. A lot of state associations across the United States would love to be able to get all the stakeholders, as we would say, in the same room on one given day to adjust and take a look at constitutions and the bylaws that we put in place. So overall, Ken, to answer your question, on a scale of 10, 10 being that 100, which we saw a couple of those on votes today, we don't see that too often. I think it was at least a 98. We had good attendance. We had almost 350 people here for 404 membership, which is a good number. It's a good average for us. And as you saw the agenda, I thought it went well, and I'm pleased with the process.
You feel more unification taking place? That was your goal when you first took over?
It depends on the topic, but yes, I believe so. I think that some of the items that were on the agenda, I think 12 of the 14, I looked to my left, it was Ethan Anderson over here, 12 of the 14 put up by the executive committee passed, 22 of the 26 or so passed. So I would think, to answer your question, if you're a data person, you look at the percentages show that yes, sir, I think that the association is unified in what they want and what they don't want, and they spoke again today.
The intent of the lawsuit proposal was all about not having playoffs delayed and such, as compared to what some people may have thought that was about control from the LHSAA. Just explain that briefly.
Absolutely, it was a carryover from a couple of suits that we've had, and not necessarily in the last 3 to 5 years, but whenever the courts get involved and we're going through the process, and they put a restraining order on the association, and then at that point the schools are allowed to continue to participate, and then in the most recent case we had this fall, where we're holding up the playoff, or we're putting somebody in because of a restraining order. That cleans that up, and that was the advice that we were given. We talked to people about it, and I'm not going to say I wasn't surprised, but from the feedback I got, there was some that were pretty strong set against it, and there were some that were not. And I think obviously today, then now I'll rely on legal counsel or counsels to guide us through the rest of the process, Ken. But I believe in the grand scheme of things, majority, if not the vast majority of our membership adheres to the rules signed, and we do the best we can to make sure that we administer those. And by doing so, the last thing we need to do is end up with outside of our administrative actions or administrative appeals to end up in the court system.
There's a feeling still that there's concern over whether or not this would be abused, and that's why it was voted the way it voted. Is that the way you see it?
Yes. It was depending on who you talk to and when you talk to them. And in this particular juncture, we now have data, what we proposed, and we now have a database started on why, and if it comes up again, it comes up again. But until then, it was, like I mentioned in the meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, it was a preventive measure. There was no pressure being put on the association by any outside entities to do this. It is not a mimic of what was going on at UIL and the association in Texas. It was just a process to try to get something in place, so if and when student athletes or students are able to move around in the state, depending on where they want to go and better options of what they want, I didn't want the association to stand in the way of potentially athletic eligibility. And as our rules written now, then if they are from outside or wherever they go, then they would be sub-varsity. The best opportunity they could get would be sub-varsity under 1.13.4 subsection 1 and 1.13.5.
Are you concerned about high school athletics trending more toward collegiate athletics financially?
I'm not concerned. Financially, we're one of the first association with schools who dealt with the education component on NIL. And we are also in agreement and working with NIL Club in that group as well. So we're not about that. It's about making sure that we are able to maintain what we have, where we have it, and when we have it. And I truly believe that what happened today, as well as what we've addressed before, has taken care of those problems at this point. So I'm not concerned. Right now, I'm not concerned.
Did anything at all surprise you today? I think it went pretty much as expected. I mean, yeah, the two not votes were a little surprising because I don't think that's ever happened. But anything pass or anything out of the ordinary for you?
Well, as you was asking the question, I was trying to think of an answer, but I did hear both questions. The bottom line is yes, the two that passed unanimously was what I was going to say. I've been here a while, I haven't seen it. You all been here longer than I have. You said that's special. I thought that potentially the pitch count would work, but they were still below what the recommendation of the federation is as it is now. So I'm good with it. I'm an old baseball guy, and as long as the coach is being aware of it and everybody's keeping track of pitches, the pitch count hasn't been an issue. It's been somebody counting the pitches has been the issue. So I think we're good. No big. There was nothing that really jumped
What
out at me.
about baseball possibly being extended though later?
That's 2028 because we have contracts.
Right.
That's just we just got to work with those. I don't see where that would be really an issue, but we can't do it now with the contract signed. Hence why they're 2028. But no, I don't see any concerns with that.
Okay.
We hand out for those who don't go to whoever's listening or watching, whoever we don't. Our baseball championships now actually in softball actually sit sometimes on top of more baseball sit on top of graduations. I have and have assisted and authorized diplomas being handed out on the mounds. So you've all probably seen that. So this just goes a little bit deeper into that, and we'll play it out and see how it works. Still, that's 2028. A lot can happen between now and then.
That's right.